Welcome to lesson 95, subtracting integers. Now we've done a lot of adding integers, and this is the first that we are diving into, subtracting. So as you can see on the board, I have two subtraction problems ready for you. I have -3 minus 2, and I have -3 minus a -2. They're very similar, and I have that done for a reason. Okay? Now I want to ask you a question before we solve those two problems. What is 2 minus 1? It's 1, right? 2 minus 1 is 1. What if I say, what's 2 plus a -1? 2 and a -1. They cancel out, and you get 1. You get the same answer, right? In one problem, you subtracted, and in the other, you added the opposite sign. Okay? And when we do subtraction, we kind of have a little rule in this class. We don't do subtraction of integers. We add the opposite. It's a little method called algebraic addition. So on the board, these two problems have subtraction signs in the middle, and you will change that. You never leave the subtraction sign as it is. You change it to a plus sign. Let me do that first. There's another step that goes along with it, but let's just change those minus signs to pluses. Plus, plus. Alright, now you can see that there's a plus sign in the middle. Now, if you just add those, you're going to get those problems very wrong. You have to add the opposite. So every time you make a plus, it's going to have a change with it. There's always going to be two changes happening. So you add the opposite. So on the first one, I have -3 and a +2. So you will add the opposite, add a negative. And in this one, I have plus a -2. You're going to add the opposite. You're going to change that negative to a positive. Now, I know it's called algebraic addition, but it also helps you with that word and, A-N-D. Remember that when we worked on adding integers, I said to think of the plus sign like the word and. Think of adding as and. You're putting two things together. So here, I'm putting -3 and -2 together. And here I'm putting -3 and a +2 together. So let's put those together and see what answers we get. If you have a -3 and a -2, you have 5 negatives. And if you have -3 and +2, 3 negatives, 2 positives, 2 of them will cancel out, and you're left with 1 negative. Okay? Now, that's it at its most basic. Let's take a look at number 8 from your homework and see what it looks like in a more complicated problem. All right, I hope you can see that problem pretty well. It is -2 plus -3 minus a -4 minus 5. And I want you to take a look at it and see if you can see any minus signs. Not negatives, but minus signs. If you look carefully at the board, there are only 2. Now I know sometimes some of you are going to say a negative is a minus. Well, it kind of is, you're right. But think of the traditional subtraction symbol between two numbers. There is one right here, and there's one right here. Okay? Those are your two minus signs. The rest, you leave alone. You leave negatives alone, you leave the addition symbols alone. But remember, we want to change the subtraction signs to addition, and we want to also change the number that goes after it to its opposite. Just like 2 minus 1 can be changed to 2 plus a -1. So let's try that out. This number should be a positive, or this sign, making this number a positive. This number should be changed, this sign should be changed to an addition sign, and the number after it should be changed to its opposite. And once you have a problem worked out just like that, you fixed all your signs, and if it's all adding and subtracting, you start to the left, you work your way to your right. So -2 and -3 is -5. 5 negative symbols, right? And 4 positive symbols. That's only going to leave you with 1 negative, right? And 5 negatives. -5 and -1 will leave you with the answer of -6. If you have any questions about subtracting integers using algebraic addition, then see me and I'd be glad to help. Thanks.